One.
Okay. We're gonna go over the clean today, specifically the pull on the clean. I feel like that is the part of the clean that goes most wrong. And we have things coming up. We've got the open. We're gonna have a little qualifier prior to that. So here's a great time, I think, to kind of hone in on the problems that we're having with the clean and hopefully help before we get to that competition phase. Claire's gonna be my demo girl today. And so the first thing we wanna focus on is placement of the bar, where it should be when you start out. So when she picks up the bar or has plates on her bar and she's in that lowest position, that barbell preferably is gonna be right over the joint of her toe. So right here, a lot of times I'll see people back the bar up over the knotting of the laces, and that's too far. It's gonna throw the weight back into your heel, and you don't want that. You want to be balanced upon your first pull or start. So that's where we'll start out, right over the joint of that first toe. As Claire elevates this bar, or actually let's even look at how that position is. So go back down. So her shoulders are above her hips. Let's go down a little bit. And then we've got this this line of movement, and then her hips are above her knees. So it'll go knee, hip, shoulder. That's perfect position. Your feet should be about hip width apart, and then when you jump and finish the land, you'll be at shoulder width apart. So it's really not as wide as most people think. Wherever your hips are, that's your pushing position up, and your landing position will be out at shoulder. So approximately inch or about a half inch on each side, you'll open up. Okay, so let's go down and look at the way that first pull should work. Coming up to approximately mid-thigh or so, go back down, I'm sorry. You're gonna want your hips and shoulders to rise together, about to right there. So that's how I didn't see your hips rise at all. So hips and shoulders will come together. And then from here, she'll pull the bar back. So I'm seeing you, Claire, you're taking the bar a little bit forward here. And I want you to think about pulling that bar back with the muscles of the bench. So she's rising and then pulling back. This position here puts her shoulder, if you can see that, puts her shoulder directly over the bar. It could even be slightly in front of, depending on your levers. The length of your arms and everything like that. Length of your thighs, thigh bone. So, but the important piece to remember here is that you're pulling back and getting that lat really engaged before you jump. A good drill at this point would be to stop right at that highest point, right where you can no longer pull back in the bar, and simply tap it to the thigh here. These taps are deliberate and actually harder. They're not, you don't want it to brush or be soft. You want to feel the momentum of the bar against your leg, and then you're going to direct that momentum upward after you get a few taps in. So this is a good drill to do. We'll do 3 taps, and then we'll do a shrug. Okay? So when she, what's that? I came out. Yeah, and the reason she came out with the bar was because she jumped a little early. When you jump early, that's going to push your hips forward, which is going to push the bar forward, and it's going to create a big arcing with the bar. So she wants to time it so that it hits, and then she jumps up. Let's look at that one more time. So 1, 2, and then she jumps up. All right, one more time. 1, 2. Now, if it's done correctly, you're going to actually feel a little upward help from the thigh. It actually moves the barbell a little bit for you. Right. Now let's put all those pieces together. So starting over the toe joint, elevation of shoulders and hip, a hip with a pull back, and then a nice shove. Okay, now take out the taps this time, and let's just see what it looks like without me talking. And go one more time. Okay, so that's a nice hit. All right, so now we're gonna think about jumping up and moving that bar up into a racked position. Let's just hold up, let's go to the rack position and just take it up there so we can see a good position. When you're up here, when we finally get up here, we want this muscle up here to kind of pop in front of the bar. Then it allows you to just kind of cradle that bar right in that little perfect notch there. If you have mobility, enough mobility in your wrists, having a full grip is going to be really helpful. It's going to put a little more torque in your shoulder. You're going to feel some torque in the elbow, and that's going to be beneficial to you. If you can't though, you can release your grip at the top of this, if necessary, just so that you can get a good catch position. So let's go from the 3 taps and into that catch position. And yeah, right there. And then jump and catch. So she likes to release her grip a little bit, and that's okay. But she's in a nice little pocket right here. Yeah, try full grip. Good. And the bar's light, and she might be a little bit tight in her elbows because I didn't give her any more one time. But it really needs to set on the body, and then you stand using the legs instead of the biceps, okay? All right, let's throw that all together. Let's see what it's gonna look like when we start over that toe joint. We bring the shoulders and hips, and then we'll pop it and catch it. All right, so something that can be helpful is to take that first pull slow, understand your positioning or feel your positioning, and then popping up. All right, so one more time, maybe not quite that slow, speed it up just a tad. All right, and then go. Awesome, good. So the catch position here is in a power position, but if the bar were heavier, she might choose to squat it, in which case we can take it all the way down. Now for that squat, what you're looking for is the hips to get down before the catch is created up in the rack position. So before it hits up here, you're already down into that squat. So let's try that again. See what that looks like. Let's do from the taps. Did a nice, good job. And let's try that again. So sorry, it was a little segmented. That's okay. That's where we start, and then you're wanting to shoot or pull yourself under the bar as you're trying to catch. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, pull yourself under, catch. Awesome. All right. So let's look at the final product, putting all these pieces together. One thing, if you ever have a problem with that tap or with where it's supposed to hit coming from the ground, if that's difficult, just abort that and go into the hang only. That's going to be just as effective, and it's going to teach you where to hit the bar every time. Okay, so let's give me 3. Give me 3 powers, and then give me 3 squats so we can see it all together. All right. And I don't know if our audio is good enough, but there is a distinctive sound when it hits her thigh. You can hear that bar make contact and shoot up. All right, now your squats. Okay, she's losing a little bit of total extension in the top. She's trying to gain a little bit of speed, but we want to get fully extended at the top, okay? Better, awesome. And one more time on that squat. And hit, excellent, good, okay. So those are my thoughts on the clean. I did want to draw in and say at this time, really the snatch is the exact same concept, only we're going to be a little bit higher in the hip, and maybe we do something very specific for that later. But that pull and that hit is very much the same when you're going through the first pull, the transition, and the catch. Obviously, it's going to be overhead with the snatch, but the same type of hit on the body and quick turnover. All right, I think that's it.